Thank you, Rick Wakeman, CBE, for coming to the Isle of Wight and playing Shanklin Theatre. So really welcome to the island, and thank you for bringing sunshine. About your early life, your reminiscences of London, perhaps in your father playing for Ted Heath Band?
Yeah, my dad was a great piano player, and during the war years he played for Billy Cotton, Ted Heath. Mind you, a lot of musicians did because they just pulled in musicians from wherever they could. And my mum and dad had a concert party that they ran, which ran a little bit after the war until it all sort of changed and sort of died. And they did a lot down here as well because the Wakeman family all hail from Portsmouth. And my mother's side, my grandmother on my mum's side, a lot of them hailed from Bembridge. So we were down here a lot. But London was where I was brought up, and it was weird because all there was radio-wise was the light programme and the home service, which nobody ever listened to. I mean, workers' playtime, and that was it really, and sing something stupid with Cliff Adams and that. So that was it really. So you made your own entertainment, which is what my parents did, which was lovely. And that my dad was a big influence on me. And I went to piano lessons when I was 5. Had a wonderful teacher and stayed with her right the way through till I went to the Royal College. But my dad encouraged me to listen to all kinds of music, play all kinds of music, and I couldn't have had better advice if I'd paid £1 million for it.
No, I was just thinking that your influence is like the teacher. I was just thinking when young people hear you speak, how would you encourage them to get into music and find a pathway?
There's lots of music so much different now because people can make music in their bedrooms on their computer and whatever. It wasn't like that when I was a kid. When you sat at the piano, you learnt and you played, and you went and had lessons. I still think if you want to do the piano, then it is well worth having a good teacher. And if you go to a teacher and you don't get on, find another teacher. It's as simple as that, because the teacher is so important. When I was really lucky, Mrs. Symes, who was the lady who taught me, was just brilliant. And at school I had a good music teacher. He was quite a character, Bill Herrera. When he was 60 years old, he ran off to Spain with Teresa de Oliveira, who was in the sixth form, and married her in Spain. So that was a wonderful school scandal, and I thought, that's all right, good for him. But it was, I mean, it was it might sound a bit daft. I mean, obviously, when I was growing up through the 50s, 60s, and even some of the 70s, there were no computers. There were no mobile phones. So you made your own music and you made your own, your own entertainment with everything. So there weren't the distractions. I mean, the only distractions I had as a teenager was the 3 girls who lived next door. And they were a distraction. But there wasn't any. It was football. For the boys, it was football and making music. Everybody was in a band of some sort. So that I was having my music lessons. I was in a few bands. It was just a wonderful time. I mean, yes, I wish I was younger, but if I could be younger, but having had the experiences that I had, that would be perfect. But that obviously is not possible. So if I had to say, okay, I'm happy being my age because of what I was lucky enough to experience and go through.
I think that the order, like you said, of which you involved yourself in music was Cream, yes, Space Oddity with David Bowie, Elton John, Cat Stevens, Morning is Broken. So were they the highlights, or which part was your favourite part?
Today.
Yeah.
The fact that I can still stand on a stage and play music, and a lot of the music that I do some Bowie stuff because I did a lot with Bowie, and also if I don't do Morning is Broken, people complain afterwards, so I play that. Lots of things. No, it's just there's plenty to do, and I'm still lucky. I still go to America and play the huge arenas and things like that. I'm just as happy on a stage in a village hall, and as long as I'm up playing and doing something, I'm very happy. So I think it'll be somebody else's choice as to what highlights when I've departed this mortal coil, because, you know, that's when they go, oh, when he did, that was his best bit, that was his best. But, yeah, I've had some wonderful times. I still hope there's a few more left.
I think, looking back through what you've done, your involvement in charities as well, Friends of the Animals, King Rat, all of those sort of exercises, which has been the sort of most satisfying for you for giving back to your community?
Oh, crikey. Well, to be fair, all of the charities, I'm big, my wife and I are huge animal welfare fans, and I've been a patron of Friends of the Animals here on the Isle of Wight for more years than I care to remember. If I was with them all today, going down that, I mean, they're just wonderful what they do with the animals. And I'm also a patron of Saving Strays. We bring in and save dogs from the killing stations in Eastern Europe. I also have a Labrador which was bought from a restaurant in China. We bought her where she was on the menu. I mean, it's horrendous. My great friend, the actor Peter Egan, he says somebody's got to speak up for the voiceless ones, as he calls them. And it's an honour to do. And it's, I mean, I saw a little dog today called Rex, who somebody had come here to the island on holiday and dumped her at the vets and said, put him down. Don't want him. And he had a lot of problems. Friends of the Animals paid for all of his medical bills, which I know were over £2,000, and tore up the piece of paper to have him put down. And they found a great home for him. And I saw him today with his new owner. And what a happy little dog. You know, that sort of thing puts a smile on my face, you know. So all of those, I mean, one of the things with the water rats is I was king rat for a little bit, and also I'm a Grand Rank Freemason, and that's another big charity thing. And what I like about all of those is that all the emphasis, publicity-wise, is on the charities, not on the people. I mean, as water rats, we do not go around saying, "Aren't we jolly good at what we've done?" and "Aren't we?" And the same with the Freemasons. And it's the same for me. I mean, I went down today, and there were they took a lot of photos for their magazine, but the emphasis on the photos is on those, the people that work, the volunteers, and all that kind of thing. So I'm in a profession where I'm very lucky. I don't think I do anything that anybody else wouldn't do if they were in the same position.
That's good. And you touched on your health as well. You're open about diabetes, teetotal. So all that life experience, has that helped shape who you are now?
Yeah, some of it I don't like. I mean, I have wet macular degeneration in my left eye, so that's not great. I've got diabetes 2, but it's quite high up. I've got arthritis in my feet and my hands. There's a few other things I've got as well, as I can't remember. I've got, in fact, last week I had a hernia operation, which is why people might think I'm going to be walking a bit funny on stage tonight, but that's why I'm sitting down now talking to you. But, you know, I wake up in the morning, throw back the covers. If nothing's dropped off, go, great, another day.
I think where you've brought humour to whatever you've done, have you enjoyed things like Countdown, Grumpy Old Men, and have you ever been asked in the Jumble or Strictly or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, I love doing Countdown. And Grumpy Old Men was wonderful. Yeah, I turned down Strictly 5 times. I've turned down the Jungle 4 times. I mean, the producer, or one of the producers of the Jungle, they called me up and they said, "Look, what do you want to do it?" And I said, "I don't want to do it." They said, give us one good reason why you won't do it, because they pay astonishingly well. And I said, if I wanted to have my genitalia crawled over by rats and eaten by insects, I'd have stayed married to my second wife. And he went, "I get it, we won't call you again." No, I don't want to do those reality shows, because for me that's the last thing you get remembered for. You know, which is, I mean, some people go, I mean, my great friend Joe Pasquale, I mean, he did it because he was in the middle of a marriage relationship that broke up, and he just said, "I wanted to just do something." And he did it, and you could tell, I mean, he won it, Joe, he was brilliant, but it was very much I don't care. You know, he wasn't there trying to be somebody, and he's fantastic, John. He's very funny, and always was, and he certainly didn't need the money. But no, the reality TV thing, it's not for me, and I can't dance. I can't dance. So
can you cook?
Yeah, I did the old Master Chef of years ago, not how they do it now. I did that celebrity one with Jenny Agutter, and gosh, I can't remember who else it was. And that was when the American guy used to run it. I can't remember his name now. He also did Through the Keyhole. He's a nice guy, but I can't, whose house is it? Lloyd Grossman. Lloyd Grossman. Yeah, he did the celebrity thing. So yeah, I did do that, but it was very, very low key back then. And I love cooking, but I wouldn't do the programme. No.
And coming back to your point about Joe Pasquale, he's like you, really good friends of this theatre and the island.
Yeah.
So what other memories have you got of the island? You played St Saviour's, you played Winter Gardens, and you grew up in Benbury. So how many memories?
I've got happy memories of here. I mean, I think I played every theatre on the island, including they closed Ventnor now, which is tragic, really, because what a position that place was in. Just stunning. I did a lot. I played all the places here. Played 3 or 4 different churches and things over here, and I just had lots of friends here because Jeff Hughes, the actor, lived here, who was a good friend. Melvin Hayes, of course, a good friend. Jack Douglas, a tremendous mate. So I used to come over and see a lot of the mates, and as a youngster, I used to come over. One of my favourite memories of the island. I can't remember where it was, but I was given a little pen, one of those nib pens, and the sort of shaft was glass and had different coloured sands in it. Because there's somewhere here where's
Adam Bay,
Adam, that's it. And I kept that, and I think I managed to hold on to it right up until the 3rd divorce, I think, and then it did go missing. But I was very proud of that. I used to come. I had an Uncle George who lived here. We used to come over a lot. I was on the 2nd hovercraft ever that came across, because Uncle Pete and Auntie Barbara, they all lived in Portsmouth. And I came, and Dad had got together, so we were on the 2nd crossing of the hovercraft from Portsmouth by the pier. Does it still go from the pier there, does it?
Yeah, Clarence Pier.
Yeah, Clarence Pier, yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I remember, huge crowds to see it. And we went on, I think Dad it was all our holiday money to get on and go across. But it was great fun. So I've got lots of really good memories.
And after tonight's show, you're off continuing your tour, and you intimated that you might be back to the island next year?
Yeah, I will come back. I go back tonight because tomorrow, I have to get home tomorrow because I go to Italy, and then I've got an American tour, all of October, most of November. Then I've got the English tour, a Christmas tour, which I'm doing with my son Adam and the great singer Molly Marriott, who was Stevie Marriott's daughter. And that's going to be a fun Christmas show. In fact, we open in November the something, 25th, in Portsmouth, the Princess Theatre. So we open there. So if I can get down a bit earlier, I'll try and come across and see all my friends here.
No, we'd like to see you come back. Have you got a final message for your friends on the island?
Yeah, it's such a lovely association, both family-wise and friends-wise. I've still got loads of friends who live here, who we come and see, which is really lovely. It's no shortage of good places to eat, nice people, and I've over the years got to know quite a lot of the people who work on Whitelink. You get to know people. There's always somebody who'll come and say, "Hello, you were over on the last time when you came." It's lovely.